Hello, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. I am your host, Shannan Mondor. Today's episode is a continuation of my series, You Are Not the Only One. I was brought forth to do this series because during my healing from my addiction to alcohol, there were so many times that the universe had brought me to silence. And during those times is when I learned so many things about myself, and I was guided. I was guided to talk openly about my past, my abuse, my addiction, and to speak my truth. From those moments of silence is when we learn, we grow, and that is when we teach others and we help others. Today, I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Kerri Hermary. Welcome, Kerri.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. So, what brought you to your stillness? If you can share your story with all of us here.
Well, when I look back at everything I've gone through, I was married for 35 years in an abusive marriage. And then I divorced him in 2017. 4 years later, I end up with breast cancer. So right now I am bald. This is a wig. And I wrote a book because I was trying to figure out what was the cause of this breast cancer that I had. And so when I started on this journey of understanding it, I had a lot of blaming. I blamed my ex-husband for the abuse because when I researched it, women that have a lot of abuse, physically, mentally, neglect, they have a high risk of getting breast cancer. There's been a lot of studies back in 1975 of anger being related to breast cancer. So when I started on this journey of understanding it, because I am not one to go to doctors. When I was in my abusive marriage, I was my own doctor because I didn't want anybody to know about what was happening at home. So when I ended up getting this breast cancer, I had to go to the doctor because my ego, my subconscious mind was saying, you might die. You might die from this. So, and my kids were worried. So I ended up going to the doctor to go on chemo. And I put aside, like I channel and I could hear my guides and I just ignored them. I ignored my feelings to make my kids feel comfortable that mom was going to live. So I ended up going on chemo for 3 months and I got really, really sick. And in those 3 months, I had 2 blood transfusions. Weeks at a time, I had intravenous medicine because I had a really bad throat, stomach infection. And so all this happening to my physical body, I heard a voice. And the voice I got used to trust in abusive times said, you only need chemo for 3 months. So, as I got sicker and I couldn't eat, I didn't eat for 2 months. I probably had 3 meals of food in 2 months. So I lost 20 pounds. So when I ended up going to the hospital, I was admitted into the hospital. The doctor, the specialist that I had, said that my body went into a natural ketone state, which at the time I thought, oh my God, I need to eat. But it stopped the cancer from growing. So the whole point of this is when I was going through this, my energy being, my spirit was still guiding me without me knowing it. See, I was stuck in my head doing everything to make my family happy, that mom was going to live. But the whole time, the universe was working behind. I didn't need to eat. I was a little chunky. So my body lived off of that. And so when the specialist told me that, it was a good thing that my body went into the ketone state to stop the cancer growth. But I had become so sick that I needed help. So as of February 9th, I rejected chemo. So now I am waiting for surgery, which will be next month, April 27th, for a double mastectomy. So on my journey, as I learned more about myself and the anger that I held, when you hold emotions that are harming you, like I created this breast cancer myself. Nobody else created it, just me, through my own thoughts toward my children. Sorry. And my ex. because I thought they were the ones hurting me, but they weren't. I was hurting myself. As you know, I hurt myself by hanging on to the anger because of the way they treated me. And so I was in that comfort zone of being treated like crap from my family. But when I got to a point where I started understanding that this breast cancer that I caused myself, my family was just showing me where I was holding the anger. It had nothing to do with them. You know, I was just hanging on to old cell memories from the past of being hurt. So as I wrote my book, Misdiagnosed Breast Cancer, that set me free from anger, I started realizing that my spirit, my energy being put me into situations to wake me up, to give me a wake up call, to understand that this breast cancer, I had to listen, you know. And when it first was diagnosed with it, I had a couple dreams. In the first dream, me and this person were talking just like this. And they said, you know, Kerri, in the past, you've said, I just want to die. I just want to die. And so, you know, this is your easy way out. And so this conversation, I can still hear it today. And so in the morning when I woke up, I see my grandbaby's pictures and I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to die. So then the next night I had another dream. And this dream was showing me, once I get through this understanding of this breast cancer, that everything's going to be good. That old, and I asked him, why did it come? And it's old energy. So it's old energy from my thoughts, from the abusive relationship, the divorce, you know, thinking that my kids, started trying to start a new life with my kids and then being mad at me. You know, I always thought I was being penalized for divorcing him. I always thought I was doing a good thing by leaving, but it was all in my own mind. So everything that I created myself. And so there was lots of teachers that come into my life since I started writing the book. And Bob Proctor, I love him. And he states, you know, your conscious mind is, your body is just a dummy terminal, that your conscious mind is, it's the master. Whatever your mind tells it, your body has to obey, right? So if you're out there and you're trying to think of what you should do to heal, go inside. You know, I spent many days crying and thinking, why me? And I had coffee with a friend and I said, why me? Why cancer now? You know, she looked at me straight in the eye and she goes, you know, Kerri, you're in a club that nobody wants to be in, but you're in this club. Now, what are you going to do about it? And I thought, oh, that was kind of cold. But she took me right from victim stage, right back into survival mode, because I lived in victim mode for so many years. And I knew that's not where I wanted to go. So she put me back into survival mode. And that's when I started educating myself. Yeah, I still kind of relied on doctors. But, you know, when I got to a point and I told my daughter, I said, I am done. I am done with chemo. And then she gave me the ultimatum, you know, well, Mom, you know, if this comes back, we're not helping you. And it kind of stabbed me in the night, but, you know, or in the heart. And I just went, you know what? It's not your body. It's not your body. And so I started connecting to my energy being. As you know, Shannan, I channel many multidimensional light workers, messages for other people, and I give them messages and I help them. I'm a spiritual counselor that I've been doing this for over 20 some years. So this was just I call it a test for me to understand that, you know, for me to help others. And I have these old thoughts of that I created, and now I got this disease in my body. You know, it's just here to teach people that you create it. Everything in your life you create. And you know, every decision you make, even to the point of what you wear for your pants, your shirt, is a decision. But you know what's interesting about it? You know how when you're thinking about something, but you feel like you've already thought about that before? It's because it comes from your subconscious mind. Everything that you need to live in this lifetime comes from a blueprint that is in your subconscious mind, that is connected to your energy or spirit, that has total control of your life. You know, we think our body here, our physical body, our mind has control. Hell no, it has no control. We just get onto these paths like physical abuse, drinking addictions, whatever it is. So we have something to experience so we can help others. You know, and like you said, Shannan,
I want to interrupt you, Kerri, because I'm just like, everything you say, I know, and I totally believe. And that's what my mindset and manifestation coaching is about, that I'm launching and it's just like, your words are so the truth. Like, as you're saying it, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And I just want so many people out there to understand, we create our world. What we see out
Yeah.
there, our five senses, is totally an illusion. We can change whatever we want outside of us, but it has to be done on the inside first. And I had to interrupt you because I'm like cheering on the other side here. And I'm like, yes, yes. Anyways, sorry for the interruption. I just love what you're saying. Okay, go. Sorry.
So, when I started this journey with abuse, I started working with gamma, and gamma healing modality is what I do today. I help people remove those cell memories and take their story, because it's just a story, right? It's not who we are.
No, it's
It's
not.
just a story, and to understand it. See, I'm not mad at my ex for beating on me, because I contracted him to do that. We pick our families, we pick our spouses, we pick everybody, we pick our entire lives, right? And then it's fine, we fine tune it as we go through life. But I think it's funny when I first meet people that are stuck in their head and they don't believe that they're an energy being, right? And I, when people come to me and they say, I want to awaken, I'm like, you don't need to awaken, you're already awake. Do you want me to pinch you? You can feel it, right? You need to rediscover who you are. You
Right.
are an energy being in a physical body on this earth school to learn. And what's interesting is, when I started on this journey, channeling my guide, Melchizedek, who I channel, he educated me so well in the abusive times. I call him the voice, because I didn't know who he was at the beginning. And I learned through that voice to trust it, because it saved my life many times. But one thing the voice did do is give me proof that there's so much bigger than us humans out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back in my 30s, and now I'm in my 50s, late 50s. So I've had all this proof of ghosts and energies, how they affect you, and the toxic around you, and everything that we all walk through life with. We're all on the same walking path, just at different times. And so for me, on this journey of writing my book, and my passion is energy. My second lump I had in my breast, I actually got rid of it on my own through educating myself about the lymphatic system within my body. At the time, yes, I was still married to that abusive situation. And this third lump that I got today is that second lump coming back because I didn't finish healing it. And it was cancerous, so I had to listen. So anybody out there that is trying to understand their story or understand who they are, yes, you have to go in. But there's people like Shannan and I to help you. You don't have to do it alone.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing, because when I did it back in the day, I did it alone. I didn't do it alone. I had my guides, but I had the spiritual realm. I wasn't taught in the physical world. I was taught from the spiritual world. And so now, yes, I'm a very good channel. Yes, I can tap into energy anywhere. It's just, that's who I become from that abusive situation. And we're all psychic. It's so funny when someone says, I'm not psychic. We're born psychic, because our energy our spiritual being needs to communicate to the physical being's body. So we need that clair, spiritual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth to connect to your physical eyes, ears, and mouth, so you can communicate, right? It's all done through energy, like the brain waves, like gamma, the gamma healing modality is tapping into your gamma brain waves. So I do have 2 books out there. The one book is Energy and Weight Loss. It was an international bestseller in 2019. If you'd like a copy of that, you can email me. But my new book that's coming out, it's just been sent to the publisher. So I don't know when that's going to come out. But I'm just so excited to keep teaching people my passion about energy and how energy is so important in your life. Well, I can talk forever.
Well, I know. I just love talking to you, Kerri. So I guess really, my second question is always, what did you learn from this?
That I created it, and I can't be anybody. The anger that I had, it had nothing to do with anybody else.
Right.
It was me. It was on me. So I learned that when somebody pees me off, it's not them peeing me off. There's something inside of me that's being peed off, and it's really got nothing to do with them.
exactly. And you know what? That's also a part of the universal law, cause and effect,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what is it that you want others to know through your experiences?
If you have a disease in your body or you have any pain in your body, just research what it is within you, because it'll definitely be connected to old cell memories and the way people treat you. Because if you're doing the old poor me thing, oh, I'm such a victim, which a lot of people do when they're
I
sick.
know so many people like that. Yeah, absolutely. And all they do is they talk about their illnesses. And it's like, quit talking about your illnesses. You need to start talking about how healthy you are. I am I am healthy, I am vibrant, but so many people talk about their illnesses, and then they wonder why that their illnesses just keep on getting worse and worse, or it just keeps constantly coming back. Stop talking about your illnesses.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I learned too, Shannon, about people, some people aren't meant to come to this lifetime and learn about stuff like that. So I've met lots of people when I start talking about what I do, they just go, it's like they look at me, I got three brains, because I realize not everybody's here to learn the same lessons as you and I, to take our addictions and heal from them and teach others. Some people are just here to learn different things. And a lot of people bring in past life karma.
Yes,
So
I know
even,
that.
right? So
I know I brought in past life karma for sure.
yeah, and same with me with my ex. But I'm learning as I deal with some people. Like I just don't work with anybody now. I work with only certain people. And because I don't want the old poor me's, I don't want the victims. I don't want to be spending this time working with people that really don't want to change. They just think they're coming to me to heal. I can't heal anybody. All I'm doing is helping you, guide you, get you on a path of understanding why. I understand why I got the breast cancer. I understand why I was in that abusive relationship, but I'm here to be a leader and a teacher, just like you, Shannon, and to show people that you're bigger than what you are right now looking in that mirror.
Right. Oh, for sure. Absolutely, you are. I got a question regarding your children, because you have come to, the realization of the deep anger, within you. Well, even your ex-husband, how has that impacted their lives to know that you had such resentment within your body? Because that's a pretty hard thing for people to understand. I get it, you know, anybody that's
Right.
healers, we get it, we understand it. But for somebody that isn't quite on that level that we are, tell me.
So, my kids don't really talk about it. They know my gifts and everything.
Yeah,
But my daughter, when this first started, she's a paramedic. So she's in her head. She's got all the medical terms and stuff, right? So
yeah.
she helped me out a lot. She helped me out a lot. But my other two kids, they were just worried mom was going to die.
Mhm.
So now when I stopped the chemo and I told my daughter, and I just was really, because she's seen me go through it, right? And so I think a part of her says, okay, mom's been really sick. Maybe I should just agree with her, kind of thing. But this cancer brought my kids back to me,
Good,
you know,
good.
where before, not that I lost them, but because of the divorce, there was a lot of anger towards me because, my parenting skills or whatever. I was actually, what I was doing was being nosy in their business, trying to tell them how to live their lives. And they're adults, they're not children. So I took my children and treated them like children instead of treating them like adults.
Okay, yeah.
And so once I brought them as adults and looked at them like living with my daughter for the last 7 months or 8 months, I learned my favorite words are not my problem. So when something's happening and I think she needs my advice, no, she doesn't need my advice. She's an adult. And I just say, not my problem. My other daughter was in an abusive relationship. I was nosy and I got in there and I'm like, leave them, blah, 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 giving her all this advice. That's not my problem either.
Yeah,
So what I would
and
tell,
they have to go through all these different experiences too, right? And I see that, with other people, and it's just, I know what it's like. And when you do say something, you regret it after, because the backlash always comes back to you.
right. And that's exactly what was happening. My kids were staying away from me, right? And so when I told my ex, I said, you caused this breast cancer. He goes, I did not. And so he doesn't talk about it now. He'll call me and see how I'm doing and stuff, right? But I know he didn't cause it.
Mhm, mhm.
He caused bruises and stuff, but the bruises healed up, right? So with my children, I'm just grateful that they are they believe in my gift. You know, they believe that I'm a great channeler. They believe that's more important to me, because as adults, we all have a blueprint. We all have a journey. And once I got over that and just realized, you know, they are not my problem. Whatever happens to them, if they run out of money, like I used to give my kids money all the time. I stopped doing that. My
Mhm.
mom and dad didn't give me money, right?
Mhm.
So what I learned on this journey as well is, by me still being that mummy, I wasn't helping them and I wasn't helping myself, because I'm on my next chapter, right?
Right. So that's my next question, my dear Kerri. Where are you now?
Well, I'm in Saskatchewan, and normally, you know, I go to Arizona for the winter.
Yeah,
So this is,
you're like little Miss Travel all over the place.
yeah, yeah. So I did have a dog, and I actually had to rehome him because of this cancer, because I couldn't take care of him properly.
Mhm.
But now on my bucket, so I want to go to Bali. I want to spend 6 months in Bali.
Oh, okay. When
Yeah.
you go to Bali, let me know, and I'll meet up with you for like 10 days. I so want to go there. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so next winter, I'm still up in the air about going to Mexico. So I'm just anxious to get back on the road. I've been fixing my van to get it going again. And yeah, so Arizona, I want to make a couple trips in the summer here. Well, after I get the surgery, I still have probably 6 months of healing. So I got to wait till I'm totally healed before I get back on the road. But yeah, I really missed it.
Mhm.
Yeah, this staying in winter in Canada it's not my thing.
I know, I hear you. Yeah, I'm more like a Florida, California type girl, I think. Any place that's warm weather. So, can you see yourself, are you still going to be doing readings? Like
Yeah.
writing a book? Like what direction,
Okay.
where is your passion leading you now?
Okay. So I still do button readings. So I still have my website, kerrythebuttonlady.com. And so in my new book, I really talk about the gamma healing. So my passion is really with the gamma healing, because I want more people, more women. I'm catering more to women, because women kind of have a shitty, life, because we're taught that we're the
I know,
lower
but that's
species kind of.
changing, and that's changing real quick.
Right, exactly. So I've started doing more ladies that are ready to change, that are ready to release the past. They're tired of being that caretaker for their husband, or people pleaser. Women that are just starting a new chapter, that they really want to change their life, and hopefully they can see their purpose. Everybody has a purpose, but when we don't have children no more, we don't know what that purpose is. And when women get beaten up or beaten down, it takes a bit to get back out of that. And so I'm putting out there, I want to help women that are kind of in the valley. They come down this mountain and now they're sitting at the bottom, and this up here is the new them, but they don't know the direction they need to go. And gamma healing modality is such a fast way of healing. You don't have to relive anything. There's 14 portals on your body that we tap into. And then we discover the root cause of maybe your unworthiness. Where did that come from? A lot of things start in childhood conditioning, as you know.
Yeah.
So we just kind of take a step back, but there's different portals on your body that connect energetically, multidimensional, to like past lives, to present lives. Even sometimes I can see the future. So, and then I channel with Maki's adept, and your guides and loved ones always come in. So yes, I'm actually a psychic medium. I can see loved ones. I can talk, and yeah, smell, do all that stuff. Like I'm definitely connected to divine source.
Yeah. And
So
I
yes, readings. I do the gamma, and I love writing.
Excellent. Excellent. So what are your final last words that you want to share with everybody out in the podcast world here?
Guys, if there's something happening in your life and you're in that comfort zone, but it's not really comfortable, get out. Take a chance, leap, walk forwards. It's scary as hell, yes. But once you take that walk and you take that leap, it's like learning to swim. It's scary to go in that ocean, but once you get in there, there's so many possibilities. There's so much, but you have to take a chance on yourself. If you don't, you'll never grow.
Right. Exactly.
You never grow.
Yeah. And
Never
that's what
do.
even when I have that fear, it's like, okay, there's another growing spurt happening here. Let's do it. Even though I don't want to, or I'm afraid to, it's like, okay, I know this is coming up for a particular reason. So let's do it. And, get through it. And I've grown 10 times more. Right. And, yeah, that's just
Right.
great advice. Oh,
I always, I just to say one more thing. I always give my clients homework to do to get them out of their comfort zone. And it's fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I've just enjoyed this interview with you. I just love you. I've known you now for what did we talked earlier about what 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
I've,
Wow.
I'm so thankful that I know you and that you are a part of my journey. And because you've seen me grow immensely. Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, for sure.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
You're
yeah.
a beautiful goddess.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay. So now with your books, uh, where can they purchase your book? Off Amazon or and then I'm also going to have all these details in my notes on the podcast. So people can come and they can click on it and they can scroll down and that's where all the information is. So what is it that you want to put out into the world of how people can get a hold of you, the name of your book? Yeah, everything.
Yeah, my Kerri the Button Lady. I will put my international bestseller back on there. I did take it off, but I will put it back on. Just because I had some published stuff happen with that.
Okay.
I had to put that energy. But yeah, and so yeah, so Kerri the Button Lady will be where my books are. Yeah. And my readings are there as well, and my energy is there as well. So everything's on that website, Kerri the Button Lady.
Okay, perfect. And like I said, it will be in the notes. So, well, thank you so much for this interview. I've loved every minute of it with you. I can talk for you for hours. And thank you so much for being, a part of my journey. I thank you so much.
Yes, and you know what? Thank you for inviting me because I am so proud of you, Shannan, from where you started, back in your addiction days. Like not, yeah, I'm just gonna say it that way.
Yeah, say it.
You have you have grown so much, and you have a heart. And I've told you many messages about this. You have such a heart of gold that you are going to be so successful. And when I told you to write a book, you looked at me like I had three heads. And now look at you have a successful book, right?
Yeah.
So it's just awesome that the messages that you got back 10 years ago and how much you've grown, because 10 years is not a long time, and
No.
where you are today.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you did tell me 10, 11 years ago that I was going to write a book, I just thought you were like crazy. And then, yeah, I have written a book. I'm going to be writing my second book here. And it's so funny because I've also had another spiritual coach that she told me right off the bat, you're not only writing one book, you're going to write 3 books. And I'm just kind of like, well, okay, well, I'm listening to this advice and it is definitely coming into fruition for sure. So, but no, I just love you.
Yeah, I love you too. And yeah, everything that we see as psychics is already in your energy. So 10 years ago, when I gave you that message, it was already in your energy.
Isn't that,
right?
Isn't that,
Yeah.
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 So
And it was so
psychics,
funny because it was at that time too, you had said to me, because I was going into I was going to continue bodybuilding, right? You said, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do these next set of competitions. And I'm looking at you once again, like you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. Right. And I did. I ended up dropping out just last minute because my addiction started to take me over again. Right. And yeah, you're damn good there, Kerri.
thank you. I'm a good messenger. I can channel well. But back in the day when I heard the voice, my guide Melchizedek taught me everything from the spirit realm. Nothing out here is all done within.
Yes. And you know what? That is something that I have so learned, especially within about the last 4 years, that everything definitely is within. And whatever, like my thoughts, like I will ask the universe something and be danged if within 24 hours, I will always have my answers, or I will be directed someplace, or something will come to me, or I'll hear a message, or I'll talk to somebody. It comes in so many different forms, and I see the angel numbers all the time. And that's a constant confirmation for me that I am so on the right track. My vibration is always so high. I know how to read who I am now. right? And that's all from within. It's all self-awareness, which I am teaching.
Yeah, and no, Shannan, you have grown so much, but when you first take responsibility of what's happening with you,
Yep.
that's when healing starts.
Oh,
You know, and yeah, I went right back to blaming my ex and my children for this, but no, when I took responsibility, I believe the tumor is not even there no more. I believe it's gone. But I still have to, because my conscious mind still says I need that operation because it might come back.
right.
But my heart, and no, it's gone.
Yeah.
It won't. So
Yeah.
even me, I'm still on a journey,
Well,
with that.
you're already looking at the end result, that it's already gone. In
Right.
your 80, in your 40, it's you, it's already gone. So of course it is already gone, right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
sure.
Well, thank you so much for everything, my dear. And everybody out there, definitely check out the notes in the podcast. If you want a reading or anything like that, definitely go to Kerri. She is absolutely amazing. And be sure to purchase her book. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day, Kerri.
You too. Thank you, Shannan.